Hi everyone, I'm Shelly and you're watching There's No Place Like Home. I know that a lot of times when I make my notebooking videos, they can seem like a really good idea to parents of younger children. But in practice, they might seem a little bit too difficult, especially for some children who just might not be writing so much. So today I'm going to share with you a really creative alternative to notebooking for younger children, and it's called lapbooking. I actually can't believe that I haven't done a video on lapbooking yet. And if I did do one, I totally forgot about it, but I wasn't able to find one on my channel when I was searching. But I actually got the idea for doing a lapbooking video the other night. My daughter Ireland was sitting on the living room floor and she was drawing a bunch of pictures of the foods that she would like to have on Thanksgiving. And it reminded me of when we used to do lap books. And I said to her, hey, Ireland, would you mind maybe just writing some things down that I could glue into a lap book so I could show it on my channel? And she said, sure. So the lap book that I'm going to be showing you today is not something that was created out of an actual lesson that we did in school. It was just my daughter doing me a favor so that I would have something concrete to show you. Because although we had several lap books that we did years ago, we used to do them all the time with our unit studies. But they're probably down in my basement. So, because we haven't done any new ones since we moved here. But really, a lap book is a great alternative to notebooking for younger children because it doesn't involve as much writing. Although you can include writing in a lap book, definitely, 100% you can. But it is an easier choice for younger kids who like to draw more and who also really need help in their fine motor skills because there is cutting and pasting involved in a lap book. So if you have a child who doesn't like to do that, you might not want to try a lap book. But it is a really good help with their fine motor skills if you need practice on those. So here's just a quick look at what a lap book is. And just remember, this is not something that we did like from a unit study or that I did as a lesson with my kids. This was just something that Ireland put together for me so I could show you. I will say that what you could do is you could definitely use this with a unit study. This is what I used to do. All of my unit studies that used to take like maybe around 2 or 3 weeks, rather than doing a notebook for them, we used to do lap books for them. And so every day when my kids would either draw or write something having to do with their unit study, we would cut it out and we would set it aside in a folder. And then at the end of the unit study, we would assemble their lap books. So this is what a lap book looks like. This is a very basic lap book. You can get really intricate ones where you glue like 3 file folders together. That's what this is. It's just a file folder. And if I have a lot of interest in it, I can make another video where I show you some ideas on how to add like pockets and different kinds of papers or how to add 2 or 3 folders together. But this is a basic lap book. It's just a file folder where you take the ends and you fold them together to meet in the middle. And I'm hoping that you can see this. So on the outside, we usually had some sort of decoration, and a lot of times we would put the title of the unit study. On the inside, we would just glue together or paste all of the activities that my kids had done. Now these might include like mini books I used to include. As you can see here, my daughter put her favorite things about Thanksgiving dinner. We used to put, they would do their own little word searches, which you'll see my daughter did make one of those to put in here. So they would put like word searches in here. We would add pockets where they would maybe put little trivia questions on index cards and we would tuck them in the pocket. Sometimes they would just draw something and they would glue it in here. They would just anything that your kids want to put in a lap book, same as in a notebook, they can put it in here. So again, in here, as you notice, you don't always have enough room with just the file folder, so you can always add things. So we added a piece of cardstock, and so she has some more drawings underneath here, and right here is the little word search that she decided to do. And you know, really, we could have added another one on the bottom. We used to add extensions on the outside if we needed to. But lap books are a lot of fun for kids, especially more creative kids who are very artistic and like to cut and paste. But it's a nice way for you to keep together all of the work that they did, for example, like in one unit study, or if they're learning about one topic in your homeschool. It's a really fun idea. And you know, the reason that it's called lap book is then ideally you can just open up that lap book and set it down, and they can just use that for information on that topic whenever they're done researching it. Now, one thing that I will tell you about lap books, which you might notice that this is very bumpy. So the reason for that is because we only had Elmer's glue. We didn't have anything else to use. So when you are doing lap books, I really would caution against you using Elmer's glue, just because it does turn out looking like this and not nice and flat like you would like it to. We used to really use rubber cement an awful lot. If we didn't have rubber cement, we used to use glue sticks, which they didn't hold up as well though as the rubber cement did. Or sometimes we would even resort to Scotch tape, the clear Scotch tape, not the kind that sort of looks opaque when you're cloudy when you use it. But anyway, I just wanted to share this with you because, yeah, this is another alternative that you can do for your younger children. If they make like a little picture book, you could put that in your lap book. Of course, you would just glue the back page on here, but you could open up a sleeve. They might be able to have a little mini book here. And I have to say that if you are a member of Productive Homeschooling, in those notebooking pages that they do have a lot of templates for mini books that you could use in this lap book. And actually, I did have one video that I remember where I showed a rather extensive lap book that we did. I believe it was for our Case of Adventure Switzerland unit study. So I'm going to leave a link to the description box, to that video. I think it's towards the end that I actually pull the lap book out, but it was a review. Excuse me, it was a review of the Case of Adventure unit study. And then towards the end, I pulled out like this huge lap book that I did for it. So you'd be able to get a really good idea of what a lap book that we actually used in our homeschool would look like. But anyway, that's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one over on Instagram because YouTube disables my comments. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.